Is this the final straw for DJT, and is it now a falling knife, or is this the perfect setup for a squeeze? Let's look at the charts and find out. How's it going, everyone? Yas here from Trading Vanguard. I'm a technical trader who trades short squeeze, momentum and volatile stocks. All of the information shown in this video is not financial advice and just my opinion. So welcome back to my channel, everyone. Apologies, it's been a few days since I've made a video. As you can probably tell from my voice, I've caught a bit of a cold, so slowly recovering, and I feel like I'm finally good enough to make a video. And apologies, I will be muting myself every now and then just because I probably need to cough. So if I go silent, you guys know why. So today we'll be doing another analysis on DJT. And in my opinion, the stock is in a critical make it or break it situation right now. So let's switch on the drawings and let's see what's going on. Right, so first things first, everyone. DJT has finally done it. What do I mean? DJT has finally come down to close this open down gap, which was waiting at $1.02, I believe, or 3 cents. And yeah, we can see that it was closed last Tuesday, and we can see that this open gap had been waiting and had been open since near enough its IPO, which was in October 2021, so 5 years. Which goes to tell you guys one thing, all right? The algos will always come down and close the gaps no matter how long it takes, whether it's to the up or to the downside. And we can see with DJT a perfect example in which it took 5 years for the algos to finally come down and fulfill what it needs to do. Of course, sometimes it doesn't always happen, but statistically, right, if we look at DJT, it has closed 71 out of 73 of its open gaps. Excuse me, it's closed 71 out of 73 of its open gaps, giving us a closure rate of 97.3%, which is crazy. And the only 2 open gaps are the 2 to the upside. So once that's closed it, we will be able to see that DJT has got a closure rate of 100%. So the gaps are now closed, but you're probably thinking, what does this actually mean? What does this mean in plain English? Well, guys, quite simply, okay, the algos technically, all right, technically the algos have no reason to keep going down any further. I mean, could the price go down, any further? Sure, but that's besides the point. What I want to get across here is that from an algo perspective, all right, from an algo perspective, the stock doesn't have any more reason to crash lower. Now, the only reason, in my opinion, okay, so it is in a crucial position. Excuse me. The stock is in a crucial position at the moment. Could it be ready for a huge squeeze? Yes. However, the only reason I would think that the stock might not be ready for a squeeze, in my opinion, guys, I think it's purely because of the market situation right now. And by the way, I am due to make an update on the overall market soon, so please stay tuned for that. But should we not see a pump soon? Because I think right now is in my opinion, a perfect buying opportunity for the stock. And we can see the stock is super reactive at these price levels. We can see it's done it multiple times. I've got here this whole green area, which is the bullish liquidity zones in which the bulls buy. And we can see every time the stock has come down to these price levels, we have always seen an increase. We've always seen some sort of a pump, whether big or small. So like I said, if we don't see a pump and the market conditions don't favor it for a squeeze, then unfortunately, it might start to look a little bit ugly for the stock. And for me, the next landing zone for DJT will sit at around $7. And for me, because I've been trading, a lot of stocks like DJT and just stocks in general for a very long time, $7 is a very strong, and I want to say a natural psychological price level after $10. So we can see right now that DJT is literally fighting to hold that $10 level. It did create an all-time low, back in 2021 of $9.84. And we can see in the 4-hour chart just the other day, it did create a brand new all-time low at $9.79. However, the bulls quickly bought back in, or is this them just accumulating their position? We will never know. But like I said, should $10 be broken, then guys, in my opinion, $7 is the next price level for me. And if we want to get even more specific, if we want to get even more specific, what I will do is we will measure a Fibonacci retracement from the previous pump. So the previous pump will be this. There we go. When it squeezed about 70%. And then if we go down to the next price level weighting, which is the 1618 level. So for anyone who doesn't know about Fibonacci retracements, the 1618 level is one of the most responsive and reactive price levels, no matter what the chart looks like. All right. So in my opinion, we'll make a little, what am I looking at? Not you. Yeah. The landing zone for me will sit between $7 and $6 between $6.36 all the way up to $7. This is if DJT cannot hold the $10 price level, and if we just see that the market just stays overall bearish, then I think this is where the stock will be landing next. However, should this not be the bottom, then in my opinion, I would say that this is where the bulls will start to accumulate their position. So that could take a few days, it could take even a couple of weeks. And as long as we don't sort of see like a quick price, like a flash pump, kind of what we saw last time. So it quickly flashed up, closed the two open gaps and just got rejected instantly. As long as we don't see sort of something like that, then what we want to see is the bulls accumulate their position here, load up massively, all right? And my price targets from last time still remain the same. Okay, so of course, first things first is we want to see DJT break the EMA lines. I mean, when it came down to close the gap, we can see its first attempt of touching the EMA line and got rejected by the first one, and of course got pressed immediately back down. So what we want to see is, of course, the stock naturally break the EMA lines, and then nothing's changed from my last video. The first price level for me will be $14.50. And then for me, the absolute killer resistance. Sorry guys, excuse me. The killer resistance is waiting at $15.37. And like I said last time, apologies, there's a lot going on in the chart. But hopefully it's a bit clear. This price, actually what I'll do, I'll remove the Fibonacci retracement because we have already got our green landing area. So this is where we want the stock to land next, should it not hold $10. So yeah, just so the chart looks a bit cleaner. The next price resistance is waiting at $15.37. Why do I think this is a huge resistance? Is because every time that the stock has tried to break past it, it's been instantly rejected. And what we want to see is a full candlestick, including the wicks, above this resistance line. All right. That will give me confirmation that the bulls have stepped in and have just broken past it, and that will be the confirmation. And we can see from its last bump, The stock came up, closed the open gap, touched, I guess, this bit of a trend line that that my algo picked up. Not really a trend line, but you get the point. And then immediately, right, we didn't see that the bulls managed to keep the price at that, above the resistance. Immediately it got rejected and the bears pressed it back down, making sure it stays below this resistance. Excuse me. And we can see it came up once more, tested it, and then got absolutely rejected and slammed back down into the bullish liquidity zone. So like I said, we want to see this bulls break above $15.37. And then after that, the final resistance for me is the EMA, the black EMA line 200, and that's waiting at around $16.28. So really and truly, right, DJT, in my opinion, has just this kind of area that it has to break through. So between 1450 to around 1650. Once it does break through, honestly, there isn't any reason why the stock can't squeeze up to $39.57, despite what everyone's personal opinion is on Donald Trump. And just for context, I am not the biggest fan of Trump at all. However, as a technical trader, I am able to separate my emotion from the stock, and I trade it for what I see based on the charts. And we can see, right, when the stock first IPO'd, look, I mean, thankfully we don't have to look too far, but the stock went from $9.84, creating an all-time low. This was the 6th of October. Within 2 weeks, it created an all-time high of $175. So that tells me that as long as it's in this zone, there's no reason why we can't hit the price target of $39.57. So what did you guys think about my analysis for DJT? Also, if you guys have any other ticker suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. If you guys found this video useful, please drop me a like. And if you are a similar trader to myself, please consider subscribing, as I'll be posting more content similar to this. Once again, I would like to end the video by saying this video is not financial advice. Trading can be extremely risky, and you should always have a trading strategy to stay safe. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.